So I know that you and me were talking a little bit off air about your beginnings as an NFT artist, going from the commercial like beauty photography world to now creating your own artwork and selling it as an NFT. Could you talk about, what happened that kind of got you there, and what the beginning of the journey has been like?
Yeah, absolutely. I know that before we went live, we were kind of saying like, oh, let's not talk about pandemic because we're all sick of it. We've heard it, but I can't explain my the beginnings of my NFT career without kind of touching on that subject, because as we said like a second ago, I depend on a team as a beauty photographer. I would always have at least two others, which would be a model and a makeup artist, and me as a photographer. So when the pandemic hit, and I'm based in the UK, so it was probably about like March time here, I just could not create because we weren't allowed to be in teams. But I think the beauty industry was hit extra hard with the restrictions. So anyone, any makeup artist, hairstylist, they were locked down or like not allowed to work the very first, and they were the very last to be allowed back to work as well. So there was a whole year pretty much of me not being able to do anything. So pandemic starts, 1 month in, I'm just clawing at the walls, wanting to create something, and started shooting friends. So once that was done, I was like, right, I want to do beauty. I don't just want to do like random portraits of people. I know this is not what I'm passionate about. I want to use use a face as a canvas, like I said. And unfortunately, there was only my own face available because we couldn't work with anyone. So I thought, okay, well, let's try self-portraits. And it took me half a shoot to realize that I hated shooting my whole face. So about 500 pictures later, I was like, I can't do this. I prefer to be like anonymous, really, like in terms of, I don't like self-portraits with like the whole of me in. But that same day, I kind of switched to, I just basically, no word of a lie, dunked my mouth into a pile of glitter, took some pictures of it with the macro lens, and I absolutely loved it. It was like a small piece of art. I was really, really excited about it. And I showed it off online, and immediately people said, wow, can we buy a print of this? Because this looks cool. This is like, there's something special about that. That's decorative. And I was like, wow, okay, like I just did this for my own sanity and mental health, but people actually really, really enjoyed it. And so I kept going with it. The second time I shot a set was that set of red lips, which was also one of the first ones that I sold here. And there was one specific piece with sort of like makeup tools in lipstick and like an earbud and stuff like that. And that really, it almost became the face of lockdown for me, because it later got picked up by Rankin in the UK for a TV show, and he put it on the cover of his new book as well. So that was like, I really got validation and approval by other people, and I just kept going with it. And in that moment, I said, despite this being born out of desperation in a crappy situation, I will keep going with this sort of with the selfie macro things. And when I discovered NFTs in I think it was very early March, I thought, you know what, like other people have told me that this has artistic value. They wanted prints of it. So let me try and use this to break into the NFT industry as well. And I did, and it worked really, really well. So now I'm accidentally known for being the girl with the lips.
Completely by accident. No, that's so awesome. And that just shows like a lot of times limitations lead to, breakthroughs in creativity. Now that we have all this technology at our fingertips, and my phone is like a whatever, bajillion megapixel camera, and anybody could theoretically, create a masterful photograph just with the cell phone that's in their pocket. We forget that creativity stands, outside of technology. And it's a lot of times that limitations, and, in the early 70s, 80s, when new genres of music were being created, when new styles of art were being created, a lot of times limitations were a massive part of that. And I think that this is a great example where limitations really contributed to you discovering that, these self portraits of your lips with different, kind of features in the photograph that, very in line with the work that you've been doing, and in line with your idea of using like the face or a part of the body as a canvas. It allowed you to kind of open up this new creative world for yourself, and then obviously, have some success with NFTs. So that's so cool to hear.